What's going on, team? It's your boy G, aka Ginato Sensei. We back at it again with another episode of Ginato Explain, man. Today's episode, we're talking about Wandavision. Let's get it.
Spoiler alert, this is your one and only chance to get off of this video. If you stay on this video prior to this, your fault. Don't blame me, okay? I just want to talk about whatever we're talking about today. I don't know exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about something. So, y'all already know what we do, man. I shouldn't have to tell y'all, but it's okay, because I'm going to tell y'all anyway, because I love y'all. So, let's get right into this video. Hope y'all like it.
Okay. So, this episode was basically an origin story for not only Wanda, but also Agatha. So we start off the episode with us finding out how Agatha Harkness became, Agatha Harkness. She started off, in this cultist witchcraft, I don't even know what you would call it, like, other than like just, a group of witches or whatever, where they had their, mother witch, and she basically had a super thirst for knowledge and has been, researching and trying to learn as much as she can. Remind me a lot of Loki, where he learned so much that, he couldn't stay within bounds of whatever covenant that they were supposed to follow. So they were going to burn her at the stake. Now, at this point, she pleaded, she begged for them not to do this, and they still did it anyway. But by that time, she had already learned enough to actually reverse the pull of what they were trying to do and basically take all of their energy from them. Kind of basically suck the life force out of them, and even her mother, who was the most powerful witch in this whole group. But it was a really cool way to start this episode, just because they're introducing a new character into the MCU within this show. So every character needs an origin story, and at first I thought it was just going to be for her, because we know who Wanda is and who she was before this. But with this episode, we get a deeper understanding of how she came to be. After we get Agatha's story, we flash back to her explaining and catching Wanda up to speed on what her situation is right now and what she wants from her. Agatha, out of all things, is a seeker of knowledge. So in this moment, she's kind of serving as a teacher and trying to help Wanda figure out how she even made this whole fantasy. So she basically forces Wanda to take a look back into her childhood and see how all of this all started. And a lot of us predicted, the reason why the show started off with all these different sitcoms was because that was her favorite thing to do growing up as she was learning English. It turns out to be a family thing. So her dad apparently was selling movies and shows out of a briefcase, and that was his way of making money at that point in time. The ones that he didn't sell, he would bring back home, and then they would get to watch it and enjoy it as a family. Now at this time, their home was still under siege, so not only was there fighting going outside, but this is the moment where not only do her parents die, but also the bombs rain down, and we get to see Wanda's first, I guess, quote unquote spell or activation of spells, because a lot of us thought that she got her powers directly from the Tesseract. But what we learned is that pretty much the Tesseract doesn't necessarily give you powers in a sense, but it kind of enhances what you already have. So what Wanda and Pietro thought was a dud of a bomb, actually Wanda was the one to make it not go off. Now that wasn't directly said from Wanda's memories, but that's what Agatha's role was in this episode, to explain the unexplainable, because Agatha's been living in this world for a long time, this world of magic. She's been training, she's been doing all that she can. She's gave up everything for the said power that she has. Out of nowhere, you have Wanda, who doesn't have any formal training in being a witch, do the impossible, what could have been considered the impossible within such a short amount of time. Agatha actually sought her out to figure out how she did it. So that was pretty much the whole background of this episode. Now if you have a little bit of knowledge from the comic books and things like that, or you've done a little bit of research, you will know that Wanda was given a gift at birth. Basically, we don't know exactly the time that it happened, but she's always been able to do these things. Now she hasn't been able to recognize it prior to this, but signs have always been there, which is something that's like a really cool backstory, because you know, if none of this stuff had actually happened, this gift might have, you know, just faded out with time. You know, she could have just been like a normal person, but with her home being blown away, to, you know, her and her brother volunteering to join Hydra to, you know, make a change in the world, like her power starts to manifest at rapid speeds to where the point where she kind of doesn't have a limit. And Agatha's whole thing right now is, how did you do it? You know, where Wanda can't explain it, so she's gonna force Wanda to tell her through her memories. So that's like, you know, the premise of like why we're even here right now. So after that, we get to see, you know, Wanda in Hydra's lab and her, I guess, quote unquote, first reactions to the Tesseract. And, you know, the Tesseract was still in Loki's staff at this point. And what it did was basically show her not only her potential, but her future in Vision. This was a really cool scene because it showed Wanda in her actual, like, you know, real superhero costume, and showed me that, you know, the Scarlet Witch is not just, you know, a name that they came up just because she had red hair and her magic was red. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like a legit, like, thing in the magic world. Is super special, and like only one person like in life can even, you know, have that name, and that person is Wanda. So that's why Agatha has went to these lengths, you know, to kind of ease her way into figuring out, you know, why this all happened. She almost got there. She almost got there with Pietro, but now Agatha has to force her way into remembering. So from here, you know, we go to Wanda and Vision's kind of basically like first date, but first time actually like connecting on a deeper level once she joined the Avengers. And, you know, this was like a cool scene just because we started to get into like why Vision meant so much to her and the power that has been, you know, created based on the deep sorrow that Wanda has. Then we pretty much get to present day with Wanda just coming back from, you know, the blip. She's searching for Vision, so she goes to Sword headquarters and basically requests, you know, she's been asking, but she basically, you know, walks right in just because she can do whatever she wants at this point. Like, she's that powerful, so they was just like, they might as well, you know, just let her in and let her see Vision. Once she actually got there, she saw that they were actually dismantling Vision, because, you know, you can't just like leave something like that up to chance. Like, I understand where Sword is coming from in the sense of like, you know, not being brought back online and also not letting those resources go to waste with, you know, the vibranium, just like how much that is worth in general, which is kind of like, you know, he's just trying to get a bag. But, you know, this whole notion, okay, they've had Vision this whole time, you know what I'm saying? They've had him. So when Wanda, you know, breaks the glass and actually goes down there to see him, and she can't feel him because the actual thing that made Vision, which was the Infinity Stone, like, it's not there. She can't feel him, and that's when it started to hit in. You know, that's when it started to like really hit home. Once she knew she couldn't feel him, she didn't care about, you know, Vision's actual body, and, you know, she dipped out. Where we finally get to see why she chose Westview, you know, and that was because Vision had actually, you know, got them a place to stay. This was going to be like their nest egg. This was going to be, you know, where they grew old, or quote unquote Scarlet Witch grew old, which is maybe not even possible, because if, you know, Agatha can be alive this long, well, Scarlet Witch could too if she really wants to. But when she actually got to the property and saw what, you know, could have been, that's when she was at her lowest, and that's when she tapped in to the real chaos magic, which is a video I can, you know, make later on. But I just want to, you know, basically break down like just the true origin story of this, because when we first started watching WandaVision, we didn't know what was going on, period. Like, all of this information that we're getting now in episode 8, it's wrapping things up in, like, you know, the most satisfying way. So when she hits this low, she basically explodes. Like, all the power that has been just like inside of her this whole time, that, you know, she's never really been able to tap into, that this natural gift that she has, this natural like power that was bestowed upon her through whatever means, which I think it has something to do with the book, just spills out, and Westview's WandaVision is born, and that's where we start. So This is a really good episode. I can't believe just the way that they told the story, where we were thought to believe that Wanda came and stole Vision's body, but actually she created Vision again. Like, she literally created Vision again. Now, Vision only exists in the realm of the Hex at this moment, but she didn't steal and bring him back online. Like, she literally created him from nothing, but her heart. That just shows me right there, the world that we're getting to now is gonna get really mixy for sure. It's gonna get really mixy for all of this to be going on, and people like Doctor Strange and possible other people that will get connected, as I think they're making a new Fantastic Four movie. You got like Doctor Doom, and you got Magneto. Like, a lot of these energies and stuff like that have to they have to start connecting at some point, and whichever route that they take could make or break the possibility of this being one of not only just the greatest shows, but just the greatest universes, because nobody else does storytelling like Marvel does, and that you can tell the way that they wrap this all up in a bow in this one episode. If you were to watch episode 1 to 8, I actually might do that just to actually not have all these fragmented thoughts when it comes to the show. I might actually do that this weekend, just to have a better understanding of how she really felt without the gaps in between the weeks, because there's a lot that's getting shown to us, and a lot we're getting exposed to from just the magic world, where prior we only really had Doctor Strange, who actually gets his powers from somewhere else, whereas Agatha was brought up in it, and it's a different type of magic. It's gonna be dope, man. I don't really have anything else to say. I think this is a really cool origin story to wrap it all up in one episode, and with the freaking end credits of them bringing back original Vision online, but a sword version of it. It's going to get really interesting. So let me know what you guys thought of the episode down below in the comment section. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel for more, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video, man. You know the vibes. Always keep your eyes. See you guys, B-Boy G. Peace.